This is Court Bauer, and you are listening to Pro Wrestling for Life.
Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling for Life, everybody. I'm your host, two-time WWE Hall of Famer, X-Pac. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Joining us right now is the owner of MLW, Court Bauer, and the World Heavyweight Champion, Jacob Fatu. I'm really excited to have you guys on, man, to talk about this Vice TV thing, man. That I was really excited to hear that, you guys. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, man, we're fired up.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob. Hey, man. I used to come hang out with your family. They used to have me over to the house, man. Back when you guys were kids, and do you remember seeing me back then?
Man, I remember seeing you, yeah, man, when they were the head shrinkers back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember you guys came to Arco Arena, man, but it was just pure love, though, absolutely. I think you was actually in Carson one time in LA.
Oh, man.
At Yoko's
yes.
house.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I threw up all over the floor over there, man. And they were so good about it, man. Like your family always treated me like family, man, and I'm really grateful for that. And that's one of the things that makes it so cool to have you on here today, man. I appreciate the love, man.
It's all love, man. Man, did they have you eating some turkey tails over there?
Oh yeah, dipped in Samoan steroids, aka mayonnaise.
Yeah, more steroids, huh?
Yeah.
I had to lay back off of the small steroids, though, man. It was starting to clog a lot of people's arteries around here.
Your family, Jacob, has always been so good to me. I just loved all of y'all, man.
I appreciate the love, brother. It's unconditional. Thank you.
Hey, Court. Man, I've been following. How long has MLW been around?
We started in 2002. Originally, the first version of MLW was planned to start in '99. Gary Albright, a legendary wrestler who married Afa Anoa'i's daughter, was a huge mainstay in Japan, UWFI, and played for University of Nebraska and was in All Japan. And around 98, 99, the idea was, it'd be nice to have a system in the States to develop talent. And so the plan was it would be Major League Wrestling. And we were going to start that thing. We were literally in Afa's living room planning this thing out in Whitehall, which is a suburb of Allentown in Pennsylvania. And then unfortunately, Gary passed away in early 2000. And so that got shelved until 2002. And the business changed. All Japan changed ownership. Everything changed very quickly. And you're talking like a 24-month period. And the whole business, by the time we launched MLW at the old ECW arena in June of 2002, it's like scorched earth. There was no WCW, no ECW.
Yes.
There was a WWE, and then TNA was about to kick off too. They literally kicked off like within 7 days of us with their first show.
And I remember also some stuff you were doing out of Florida.
Yeah, so MLW, we were all over the place. Our second show is the Manhattan Center in New York. Then we were down in Florida. We had TV and the Sunshine Network. Then we got a distribution deal with Fox, where we were all over the place. We were in Dallas, we were in Vegas. So we had a nice syndication package. And then in 2004, we hit the pause button and then came back to it actually with the podcast network in 2011 with Conan, myself, and MSL. And that thing then blew up. And Jim Cornette had a podcast. Marty and Sarah had a podcast. We had the
Pritchard show was on there, right?
Yeah. Bruce Pritchard launched, Tony Schiavone. So that was like a thing we didn't have a business plan for. We stumbled into it. And then that triggered Wale Mania. And Wale, we did that thing starting, I think, in 2014, 2015. And it was at the third one in Orlando where Wale kind of convinced me to say, do one more show. What could happen? I was like, I'll do one show. We called it One Shot. And then that took off. And within 3 or 4 weeks, I was talking to networks about doing a regular go-forward TV show on cable. And here we are 4 years later. The business, again, has radically changed. You have now 2 billionaires going at it. And I'm trying to find my way through all of this.
Yeah, and so the cool thing is like the Samoan dynasty, the Anoa'i's have been involved since the very beginning, huh?
Yeah, well, they are the ones that really allowed me into the business when you had to be, it was not easy to get into the business when I started in like the mid to late 90s. And I would just harass Samu and Afa. And finally, Samu, who they were really like some of the first dudes online to have like a wrestling school website and, ways to email. And I just kept pitching Sam. I was like, come on, man. Like, can I get in? I don't want to be a wrestler, but I want to do something else. And finally, Sam was like, all right, come out to a show in Allentown. So you start whatever you can, putting up rings, selling tickets, making posters. And from there, I learned the ropes from Samu and Afa, and I got to spend a lot of great time with the family over the years. And just, I owe my whole career to them. I mean, I was at one point living in Afa's basement, and Yoko had just been there, and he'd spent some time there, and Afa told me the bed's a little messed up. Don't worry, son, it's going to be okay. I go to the first night I go to get in the bed. I'm like, all right, it's a little dark. I go in and I tumble down into the middle of the bed. It broke the bed. The bed was like this instead of being flat. It was like that. And I just kind of roll down into the valley and sleep, and then crawl back out in the morning. But just an incredibly gracious family. Nothing but love and a level of knowledge about the business that goes back decades. I mean, you talk about how the business evolved in so many positive ways. They really understood the magic of the business and how you could get to a level of intensity and understand just the inner workings of the business, the real magic in the DNA of what makes wrestling. And that is something that I forever cherish and privileged that they gave me that opportunity to learn it.
Yeah, and the other thing is like I've never seen a family. Well, there's probably some families out there that listen to this and might take exception, but never seen natural pro wrestlers like the Anoa'i family. Unfreaking believable, man.
Oh, for sure. I remember seeing Lance Anoa'i, Samu's son, at 4 years old, running the ropes, hitting sweet moonsaults before he opened doors. I'm like, man, he's better than most of the guys in the locker room. He was just smooth as silk, and he was not even in kindergarten.
So was it always a given, Fatu, that you were going to be a pro wrestler? Was that like always in the cards for you from day one?
Nah, man, it just happened to me, and thank God it happened to me. It saved my life, and man, it just kept me out the way. But I didn't really. I growing up around it, but man, I didn't really really. I knew what my dad and them did, but I didn't really start respecting it until I actually got into it. And man, that first 2 weeks, man, like that was like the toughest. And then that's when it really hit me. Like, okay, this is a lot of sacrifices, a lot of hard work. It's more than just coming up in there running the ropes and stuff. So